Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. How's everybody doing? I've been really busy. I'm doing really good. We're still, we have our house on the market, but there's really not a lot of movement. Not a lot of people are interested in buying a house right now. And I can't blame them. There's so many things that are happening. It's this political climate, definitely, because we don't know what's going to happen, what's going on, and nobody wants to, make any commitments. And I can see how that is. So it might be a good thing because it's probably not a good thing to buy a house. So we would have to buy another house if we're sold this house. So it's okay. Everything's works out as it should. I hope y'all are having some nice cool weather. Right now here, I live in South Texas. It's 92 degrees. It's still hot here. But in the mornings when we get up, it's like 61, 62 degrees. It's really cool, really nice. But you got to get up real early. You got to get up at 6 o'clock, and go out there. And it'll stay cool till maybe 8 o'clock, and then it starts heating up. The sun comes up, and boom, it's hotter than heck. So, but it's much cooler. So do you think we usually have close to 100-degree weather every day? So this is much better, much nicer. So that this is our fall, and that's how it's going to be for a while. We've usually, even in Thanksgiving time, we have our air conditioner on because it's usually hot. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a cool Thanksgiving, but who knows? Anyway, all the things that are going on, yeah, so many things are going on. I haven't really watched the news today because I've been busy doing other things, but the shutdown's going on. Our government is all shut down. I have had a little guided meditation and asked my guides a bunch of different questions, and I'm going to give y'all the answers to them. I've already done that, so bear with me. So everybody is wondering how long this shutdown is going to last. And what I'm getting is that they don't really start talking to the Democrats. They're just like, they think that, that they can bluff out the Democrats. But in about 2 weeks, they're going to start talking to them. That's what I'm getting, 2 weeks. So it shouldn't last. I mean, even 2 weeks seems like a long time, but I feel like in 2 weeks they're going to start communicating and talking, and maybe doing some negotiation. But I wanted to know, does that mean that the Democrats will fold? Are they going to cave in? And I'm getting no. The Democrats are not going to cave in. They're not. So that's good. They're staying strong. They've learned their lesson. They need to be together and stay strong. And also, Trump and the Republicans are being held responsible. The majority of the people, the energy that I'm picking up is that they feel like it's their fault because whoever is in power, they're the ones that are supposed to negotiate and, bring both sides together. Trump doesn't do that. And the majority of the people feel like it's Trump and the Republicans' fault for this shutdown. Okay. Now, Mike Johnson is supposed to be swearing in. Let me see if I can get her name right. Is it Adelita Grijalva? I believe that's her name, from Arizona. So she's supposed to be sworn in, and he won't do it because then they'll have enough votes to release the Epstein files, right? Which I didn't even ask that question if they'll be released. I'm going to ask that in just a second. He said he was going to swear her in on October the 7th because he's really being pressured to do that. They're just a bunch of cheaters. That's how they win. They win things by cheating. And this is cheating. Not swearing in somebody that was duly elected, that's cheating. And he did say, I'm going to go ahead the next session, which is, I think it was on the 7th. So next week, next Tuesday. Anyway, I do think that he's going to stay true to what he said, and he will swear her in. So next week she'll be sworn in, so that's good. James Comey. So he's been indicted. And is he going to face a trial? Is he actually going to go to trial? I'm getting no, he won't. So I don't know what's going to happen, if the case will be dismissed or something. I don't feel like he's going to trial. You know, this is a smear campaign, actually. And I just don't feel like this is going to, result in a trial. We'll see how that goes, but that's what I'm getting. The energy is no, it's not going to trial. And then we all know that the admirals and generals were all called to, Guantanamo Bay to listen to Trump and Hegseth's speech. And I just was wondering what was going through their mind. What were they thinking? How do they feel about it? What's the energy? And let me tell you, they have no respect for Trump. They really don't. There may be a couple here or there, but the majority have no respect for Trump. And they're talking amongst themselves about what they actually can do about Trump. They're talking to one another. They don't, and I asked, do they think he's mentally unwell? Because we hear that all the time. No, they don't believe he's mentally unwell. They don't. They think he's just evil. They think he's an evil man, and that's all there is to it. They will push back about the military going into cities. They're going to push back. They are going to stand up to Trump about that. And as far as Hegseth goes, they have absolutely no respect for him. None at all. What a horrible thing to be led by that person. These men have dedicated their lives to, being generals and admirals, and they've all their lives, their complete, total lives, to doing what they do. And then this bozo comes in and tells them, you need to take a fit test. These are elderly men. Some of these are much, much older, and we're using their brain power. We don't need to use their body power, but we need their brains, right? But they might be overweight and not fit, so we need to let them go. Really? This administration is just off their rocker. They're just off. And then I did hear today, because I was scrolling through my phone, and I did hear that Trump was talking about Project 2025, and that, and I thought he knew nothing about it. All of a sudden, he knows all about it. And during the campaign trail, he said he knew nothing about it at all. He lies after lies after lies after lies. My goodness. What we can just know that in 2026, the midterm elections are going to change a lot of things. Right now, as what I'm picking up on the energy for that is in the House, I do think the Democrats will take the House. But right now, as far as the Senate, I feel like it's going to still be Republicans in charge. I mean, that can change, but the energy that I'm picking up right now is that the Republicans will keep the Senate. And we really need everything. We need the House and the Senate. So we got to fight for that. We can change anything. When we work together as a collective, we can change anything. So, I haven't been coming on here very much because it's so much, there are so many people talking about what's going on with Trump. It's inundated. It's not good. It's not healthy for all of us to be so focused on him and negativity, and it actually feeds him. The more that you're focused on him, the more that it feeds him, the stronger that he gets. So I don't want to be part of that. That's why I'm not doing it. It's just, I can feel it just taking my energy away, and I don't want to do that. So that's why I'm not coming on here talking about Trump and all the horrible things he's doing every day. You're already hearing it from so many other people. You don't need me to tell you anything else anyway. But, my message is always to keep your life joyful, look for joy in your life. whatever you want to see happen with our government, mirror that in your life. Be kind, be loving, be supportive, and reflect that in your own life. And that brings it out into the universe and it'll reflect back to all of us. And that's what we want. So that's little things that we can do to put it out in the universe, you know. That's all you can do, really. Right now, that's it. And that's enormous. That's big. Be kind, do good things for the, you know, different people, whatever you can do, be helpful, and it'll be reflected back to you and back to all of us. That's what we just need to concentrate on and know that we're going to pass through this. We're going to get through this. Trump will not be there forever. He will not. And the more pressure that's put on him and his administration, you know, we have the power because we hold the purse. We have the power. We can do boycotts. Look at Jimmy Kimmel. He came back. He came right back. Why? Because everybody boycotted everything. Everything that was touched by Disney, they boycotted, and that got Jimmy Kimmel right back. So that serves to show all of us the way we control our government is through the money. The money. So that's what we need to do. We need to focus on those things and control. You know, I always say if we could have a sit-in, nobody go to work. Nobody go to work for a week. You know, all those million billionaires, they start losing some money. And then they would say, oh, these people got our number. I guess they can't be controlled. They think they can control us and we're going to still keep buying stuff and move, you know, living our lives and doing everything. Of course, we need to buy things and live our lives, but we could have a sit-in. We could say, we're just going to stay home. We're not going to participate in this. And that may be what it takes, you know. That may be the only way to get their attention, is to let them know we can't be controlled and you're not going to get any money from us because we're going to just sit on our hands, sit at home. I know that's dumbing it down and making it real simple, but, you know, boycotts work. They really do. Things probably will never go back to the way they were 100%, but they're going to get better. And Trump is going to go away. He's not going to be here forever. He's, you know, 80-year-old man. He's not going to be here forever, and his term is going to be over. And yes, there's others that are like him, but now everybody knows better. They know better than to elect those guys. Everybody's going to be hurting with health care, with the grocery bills. Everybody's hurting. As a matter of fact, my electric bill is still about $500. Still, I mean, electricity is ridiculously high. It's just, there's no need for it to be that high. There's no family should be paying $500 a month for electricity. And I've been paying it for, I don't know, the last 4 months, 3 or 4 months. I've been paying $500 a month, probably 4 months. And yeah, who can afford to do that? Who can afford to pay for health care if it's not subsidized, you know? These people are going to learn. All these people that still are, you know, egging Trump on and saying, I'm for Trump and he's doing a great job. He's getting rid of the, you know, all these immigrants that are illegally here. They're all, you know, cheering him on. Well, they're about to get hit. When they get hit with their health care, because they don't realize it's subsidized. And when their health care doubles and triples, they're going to have an about face. So we just have to put up with it because we already know, but they have to find out for themselves. So we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop, kind of, right? But we're going to be okay. We're going to hold on, and we're going to be okay because we know the end is coming. The end is coming. Okay, you guys. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and I'll try to come on a little more than I have been. Sorry, I've been busy. I'm still doing lots of readings. I'm doing healing sessions, and you know, so if you want to contact me, look down below and give me an email, send me an email, and we'll get together if you want a reading or a healing session. I'm busy all day long, but of course I can fit you in. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for listening to me. I appreciate it. Love y'all so much. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. Bye for now.